Hello gamers far and wise, we are back with PS Plus Extra / Premium new release game that just came out. We're starting off with, you guessed it, Scarlet Nexus. So as always, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and stay wise. Also, you can play as either the boy or the girl. So we're going to choose our first playthrough with the boy to experience this anime style hack and slash role-playing game. Okay, wise gamers, thank you for joining me in the Fortress of Bad Gaming Decisions. Today, we are here with Scarlet Nexus. So the story kind of goes like this. You are a trainee. I just thought the anime opening would be kind of cool, because it's kind of what happens after you do the tutorial, which really gives me anime. I don't know if anyone's ever played Hack series, but the Hack GU series on the PlayStation 3 and 4 and 2 this actually reminds me a lot of it. But pretty much the story is you're the guy on the left or the girl on the right. You get a team of helpers that have different abilities and can control different things, which then you can piggyback off of their powers. We'll go over that later. That's how you actually get more powers. But you are a PSYOP soldier, but you perform things for people, like the town people. Like do videos on you, and then there was like recordings. It's like really weird. I haven't really fleshed out the full story yet. It does seem interesting, and I'm probably going to keep playing to keep that story updated to figure out what's going on. But that's the game. What the game looks like. It's pretty fun. The story is pretty interesting, and I mean, who doesn't love an anime opening like this? I was wild. I was like, wow, this would be a real dope anime, because I'm an anime guy. Love anime. But this anime opening had everything I wanted, even the cool anime music in the background, which I probably am going to have to censor. So make sure you go listen to it on your own. I'll put the link in the description below for the artist, so you guys could go check out that video. That isn't copyright, but that's Scarlet Nexus. Let's get into all the other aspects of the game, shall we, gamers? And we're back, wise gamers. You're probably like, what's the gameplay look like? Hell, the wise? You're such a wise gamer. Why would you play this kind of game? So like I said earlier in the video, it reminds me of like the Dot Hack GU series. It's one of my favorite series. Has a really weird story. So you see my little helper on the left hand screen. You're able to hit R1 and take over their power, and then whatever power they control, fire, wind, electricity, you kind of get that in your blade, and then you're able to do the damage to the people, or the others in this case. I have no idea what the others are. You have R2, which picks up your telekinesis stuff and lets you pick stuff up and then throw it at them. See, I just did the R1 circle ability. And then there are combos, so you can do ailments and get oil on them, and it'll do more damage and all that good stuff. Combat's pretty stationary. It's square for basic attack, circle for charge attack, X squares for up slash attack, circles dodge. See, here's L2 where I slam down interactable stuff. L2 is for interacting stuff, and then you have a cool another cutscene that you have to do an extra motion. But this is the first boss of the game, so you're not really seeing anything crazy. And it's also the boss that you fight in the anime opening. How ironic. But I generally like the combat. I thought it was pretty cool to be able to. There's something, if you hold square and then hold R2, you do a combo move, and then you just keep comboing items off of them while you attack. This boss's puzzle is to take the giant things from the top and bash over its head and then turn it into fire and then boil it up. But I thought it was pretty cool. The fighting mechanics are pretty interesting, and I can't wait till you actually get a full team of 4 people and you're able to swap freely through the abilities. That aren't your abilities, kind of, but then you get a little helper person that kind of helps. They're really not that helpful, but you know, it is what it is.
Everyone, get back! Now!
So I thought this was cool, and how the game handles cutscenes. So you kind of expect it to be like a cool all thing, but in all reality, the cutscenes are like these little square moments, and then they're kind of cut and pause, and then they have like vocals going over them from the characters. And that's kind of the cutscenes in between things. So you'll get a lot of situations like that where you'll be like fighting, and then all of a sudden it does like comic book-esque cutscenes. I thought that was pretty cool for the kind of game. It kind of gave me a manga style, and then it switches into actual like visual graphics, which I thought was an interesting take on the game, because you don't see many games try to like break the norm. Most games either a cutscene or most Japanese RPG games in this case have like the little text box, and it's just text box with like one picture, and that picture kind of up there. Here's what we were talking about, where I was talking about earlier, when you defeat these camera crews, I think the people in the game call them crows. They come, and those are essentially the reporting crews that report on you, and they report like, oh, look at our up and coming other killer, blah 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 blah. And it's kind of an interesting take. I really haven't figured out the story yet, but I thought this was a cool, interesting aspect of the game that not many games try to break the norm of. Most games see like his mouth is moving, but it's just a cutscene. Just a little cutout box like a comic book. I skipped it because it just wasn't worth it. So be aware, there is a lot of talking, and you might have to skip it. And look, there's just more, and I skipped it as well. There's just so much skipping. That's probably why I don't know what's going on. But hey, be ready for lots of story, lots of skipping, and that's it. So this game's like your typical Japanese RPG type game. You have party, you have items, you have the party items for the party. You have all these items I'm showing you right now actually come with the game through PS Plus Extra. So this is all stuff automatically gets delivered to your stuff. So I chose the cool blazing flame sword. But all these swords are able to play with. They don't actually give you any increased stats, just all for cool looks. And then there's XP booster. Helps you level up faster. And then there's obviously other things like equipment. There's story, library options. The library lets you go over everything. And then cutting into the next part, which I believe is the upgrade system. So we'll go over that next. But there's something called the brain book. But that just your typical Japanese RPG style menus. So now here we are. We're almost at the end. Don't worry if you guys stick around this long. Wow, English is super hard for me today. This is called the brain map or brain book or whatever. Brain map. It's your skill tree essentially, and you're able to upgrade your skill tree by leveling up, and you get brain points, which is the BP. Right? Isn't that real and genuine, real genius? And you get to level up your stuff and see what all your good stuff is. This is pretty much a tree, and then. Yeah, pretty much it. That's just the brain book system. You level up. I was checking out some of the other things on there, trying to figure out what's the best way to level up. But there's air dodges, charge slashes, making the slash extra longer, doing more continuous attacks in a row, just all the good juicy stuff, you know. And that's pretty much the brain map. I just thought it was good to show that there is a level up tree. It's not as in-depth as I thought it would be. It makes it look super in-depth when you actually... They first show you, you're like, oh, wow, look at all these things. Then you realize it's really not that in-depth. Now, I haven't talked about it yet, but I thought I would. The outside world is small. Small. And then there's little things to pick up, like lime jellies. Cutscenes just happen. I just skip them because I can't do that. I can't deal with that. I can't deal with cutscenes. I don't know if I will continue to play this game because of the said cutscenes, because they are long. And they happen a lot. I mean, I get it's for the purpose of the story, but I wanted to play the game. I want to be cool hack and slashing. So here we made it to this moment, Wise Gamers. Thank you again for joining the Fortress of Bad Game Decisions. Scarlet Nexus, is it worth your time? Yes, if you like Japanese RPG style games, it is. If you are not a fan of talking, that. And also, don't forget, save at every moment. Because if you don't, you will load back in from your last save, like I did once. So as always, Wise Gamers, thank you for stopping by. And don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and stay wise, everyone. Till next time.